Good evening, everybody, and a very warm welcome to the United Stand. I'm joined by two very enthusiastic guests this evening. Manchester United 1, Middlesbrough 1 at full time, but on penalties, we have been knocked out of the FA Cup. I've got Levin. Levin, you all right, mate? Thank you very much. Also, Haber joining us as well. I'm trying to pick the spirits up here. I don't know exactly which direction I can go in here. Really don't know. But like I say, we've been knocked out of the FA Cup by Middlesbrough. And listen, from my point of view, I look at it and at half-time, Manchester United should have been 4-5-0 up. And we have not taken our chances. Can we look at that as a positive? I look at things and I think, right, fair enough. We're starting to create chances. I've seen a pressing style of football, the thing that we've wanted to see from Manchester United under Rangnick. But at the end of the day, we're out. And that's all that matters. We are out of the FA Cup. And I don't think I'm going to go straight to Levin first. I think we'll let him recover from this. I think he's shell-shocked. He's still trying to take it in, just accept exactly what's happened. So I think we will go to Haber first because that's the only other option that I've got. So I will ask you, mate, just thoughts on the game. Is there any positivity? Can we even use that word? We are out of the FA Cup, mate. Thoughts on the game and player-wise, is there any players that you looked at the likes of Paul Pogba, the likes of Jadon Sancho, where you look and think, all right, then moving forward into the Premier League season, we've got massive games coming up against, obviously, Madrid in the Champions League. Can you take that as a positive, or are you feeling as downbeat as Levin is?
I'm gutted. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. It's Middlesbrough, man. It's not even like a Premier League side. It's Middlesbrough. Oh man, I'm gutted. I really am. Positives, but I mean, on the bright side, there's only one trophy left to win now, and that's the Champions League. So I mean, let's go win that, team. Go, guys. Go win the chat. No,
Come on, man. We're not winning that.
No, we're not. Mate, we'll be lucky if we get top 4 at this rate. I am absolutely gutted at that performance. I thought first half, as my camera doesn't focus on me, first half, Pogba was great. Sancho was great. We created a lot of very, very good chances, but our finishing was just astronomically shite. It was awful. There is no excuse in my opinion. I know the handball situation was awful, but I don't think we can sit there and blame the loss on that. I think that the fact that our finishing was so horrifically poor in that game, some of the chances that we didn't, Ronaldo missing his penalty, Bruno missing an open net pretty much, amongst all the other chances that we had in that game. I think it was 7 or 8 big chances created, 25 total chances created. It was that was horrific. And yeah, I don't think that goal should have counted, but I don't, realistically, that goal shouldn't have changed the game. We should have been, like you say, 3-4, 5-0 up in the first half. It was appalling, absolutely appalling, and I'm furious. I don't know if I could sit there and try and take positives from it. Maybe there was 1 or 2 individual performances that looked good, but that's not enough for me to take anything positive away from that game. I'm gutted. I really am.
It's a joke of a game. Mm-hmm. How many times in world football have you ever seen a ball had to be checked for the pressure in it? 3 times this evening. And then at half time, we got a call out that, for technical reasons, there's no food or drink, which obviously played into chance of Glazers out and that. And I'm thinking, well, that couldn't be the Glazers because it obviously would love to refresh us and like sell hot dogs at £8 or £9 or whatever. But this is it's a comical night for Manchester United. There's no beating around the bush. I don't care who's in the comment section. I'm seeing City fans in there, whatever. Fair enough. laugh at us, laugh all you want. Do you know what I mean? We are Manchester United. The thing with it is, and I'll come to you now, Levin. Are you all right to speak, mate? Are you no? Right. Give me 1 minute, mate. I was going to say the thing with Manchester United at the minute under obviously Rangnick. The thing is, are we buying into this thing of short-term kind of pain for long-term gain? And obviously, you're the man with Rangnick. You've said, you know, you want to see him at Manchester United and stuff. And what is it with Manchester United at the minute, Levin? Or what I will ask you first of all, what do you think of the game this evening? Obviously, you look absolutely furious, mate.
Yeah, bro. I think the frustrating thing is, I think there's a lot of people who want to look at things and maybe overanalyze things and sort of go, oh, you know, we're an awful team, this player did that, this player did that. And the problem with this game is that, as I've seen some people, you know, mention, if this game is played out 10 more times, you'd expect us to win it 9 times out of 10. Look, this is a game where we've created plenty of chances. You know, we definitely were the better team for the majority of the game, and we had all the chances to win that game. We had a penalty in the first half. We had open goals, you know, plenty of opportunities where that game just gets wrapped up. And I think it's frustrating when, you know, you have the amount of alleged quality you have on the pitch, hundreds of £1 million worth of players on the pitch, you know, and you're just thinking if someone put the goal in the back of the net, you're playing a championship team. I'm not going to sit here and act like I felt that just because we ended up losing the game, I'm not going to sit and act like I felt the structure was awful, you know, Rangnick didn't put us in the best position to win. No, he did. He had plenty of chances. You know, we should have been better. And, you know, I just think it's disappointing. I think it's disappointing. I think I'm almost as disappointed with just sort of the way things have played out since then, right? You know, like I put a tweet out saying Elanga should have never had to take a penalty, and I think some people didn't get what I was trying to say. I think people going, oh, he's an attacker, or oh, he's just because he's young, what, he shouldn't take a penalty. No, we should have never been in penalties, right?
Yeah,
the game should have never went to penalties, right? And so, look, I'm frustrated. A lot of people will be frustrated. I just, you know, it's one of the ones where let's just go next. Cool, out of the FA Cup now. Cool, let's focus on the Premier League. I don't want to talk about the Champions League right now, but let's focus on the Premier League and let's move on from it. It's a sad night. I want to go to bed. You want to go to bed. Everyone wants to go to bed. Let's just wrap it up, bruv.
Nice touch at the end, I must say. Manchester United fans, as Elanga went off the pitch, and it is one thing we've seen where these young players get built up or whatever. Man United fans singing the song for Elanga and that, and obviously Cristiano Ronaldo with the arm round him, Haber, and I thought it's a big thing, that, isn't it? And I think Levin's touched on a good point there. It's like, why do you fire somebody into the firing line like that at a stage like that? Although I would say at a certain stage, I'm like, what's Harry Maguire coming up for to take a penalty? Which, fair enough, he dispatched. But we do put a bit too much pressure on these younger players, don't we? And it can make or break them. You don't think,
Kev,
Levin?
No, but Kev, that's not the problem. Like, you know, at the end of the day, if everybody kept scoring, Elanga would have had to take a pen anyway. It's not the fact that he's a young guy, and it's not that. Of course, yes, those things can be true, right? You're right. At the end of the day, any young player putting that much pressure on them is going to be hard. But it's not even about that. It's not even about who took the pens. It's just the fact that why are we in pens against Middlesbrough? You know, this is a championship team in a game where it's not like it's not even like we got dominated. It's not like they bossed us. Like, we dominated them, and somehow we're still in penalties. It's like, cool, I'm sure people will say, look, Elanga, blah, 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 you know, he's a young lad or whatever. And of course that is true. And I wouldn't want to put any young lad in that pressure. If it could have it my way, sure, I would have told Luke Shaw to step up to take it before him. But ultimately, you know, what's happened. He's taken a penalty, he's missed. But we should have never even been anywhere near there.
And that is exactly, mate, why I said at halftime, if we'd have been 4 or 5-0 up at halftime, no bother. You'd look at that, wouldn't you, and go, no problem. And we should have We have not taken our chances for whatever reason it is. And the longer that clock ticks down, the longer you go into the lottery, which is penalties. And what can we take from this evening? Is there any positives? I'll go on to Paul Pogba first then. We'll look at Paul Pogba, Haber. Would you look at Paul Pogba's performance this evening and see that he's got a future at Old Trafford? Or is that a player that's actually playing for maybe putting himself in the shop window and thinking, right? But at the same time, I'm not dissing that. He's not played for a couple of months since his injury. I know that the likes of Phil Jones didn't play for 2 years. And when he come in, we all sat here and said, absolutely fantastic, he's come in. Paul Pogba's come in. I thought he ran the show. Yes, he's not got the sort of game time under his belt, but he's come in, done a job. I thought he was really, really good, really positive, but obviously ran out of a bit of steam. Long-term future, Haber, do you see him at Manchester United, or do you think he'll go?
I've no idea. I think Pogba tonight was bittersweet because it was nice seeing Pogba on the pitch again, and it was nice seeing him playing well because I thought first half he was really good. Dropped off a bit second half, but that could be due to match sharpness and lack of fitness and whatnot. But no, I thought first half he was great. But the same thought was circling through my head every time he was on the ball and he's winning the penalty and things like that. Same thought going through my brain. This is the same guy that still hasn't signed a contract to stay with us, man. I get that, football is business, and I get that it's his livelihood and the rest of his career and his life that he's deciding with a contract. But he's been messing us about now for years. I feel like, whether it be through his agent ruffling feathers, whether it be through linking himself to transfers, or whether it be through not signing a contract that he's had since the summer. So, as much as I would love to see that Paul Pogba in that first half playing for us, I think on his day is one of the best midfielders in the world. We've not had his day long enough in the last 5 years, nor does it seem like he actually wants to be here. I think if he got an offer 500 grand a week from any Champion League level club, whether it be a Real Madrid or a PSG or a Barcelona or a Juve, he's gone in a heartbeat. He ain't staying here. His heart's not here, in my opinion. I think he'll stay here for the right price, and that shouldn't be the case. We shouldn't have to offer more money than any Premier League player is currently earning to keep him. It shouldn't be the case. Realistically, if you want to play for United, you'd sign the contract. You would secure your future. I feel like he could have the best second half of the season he's ever had. And the only thought that we're going through my brain is this guy's playing to try and earn himself $500,000 a week somewhere. He isn't playing for us. He's not doing it out of passion and desire and love for the club and the badge. He's doing it to get his next contract. And I've always felt like that. Every time I've watched him now since the summer, I've just had, even against Leeds, back of my brain, I just hear that this guy doesn't want to stay here. And it almost taints good performances now. I just see him going. So as much as I want to sit there and say, what a great performance. First half, he was fantastic. I don't really care that he was great because he ain't staying. He's gone. He ain't staying here unless we offer him stupid money. And I don't want us to offer stupid money because I'm sick of us running the club. I'm sick of the Glazers running the club like that. I'm sick of the Glazers just throwing ridiculous money at people to keep them at the club. I'm sick of it. And yeah, so I'd rather have 5 midfielders, half of his ability that have desire, passion, and want to play for the club and want to get better and want to give 110%, then have Paul Pogba, who's going to play for half a season to earn his contract and then drop off again like he always does. So I don't know.
Just want to say a massive thank you to Stephen Stravesky. I think I got that one absolutely boxed off there. A new member of the United stand. New member. Yeah. Anyway, 11. I'm still trying to cheer you up. I don't think it's going to happen this evening, but just on Paul Pogba, his performance this evening, more long-term, would you be offering him the kind of deal to stay at Manchester United from what you've seen, knowing if he can get back into full flow, start playing the football that we know he can? Obviously, Havers just touched on that then, but we have to look at if we lose a player in Paul Pogba, We know we spent 90 odd million on him, or whatever the fee was. Obviously, wages over the last 5-6 years. Can Manchester, as Manchester United now, do you look at that and think, we'll throw the money at Paul Pogba if he wants to stay at Manchester United, or do you think he's kind of gone and that ship sailed? It's like we need to look on now and reinvest, because as Haber quite rightly said, are the Glazers going to reinvest in this team?
I just think this isn't a conversation that we should be having at this point. Like, you know, we've heard Ralph say it. At the end of the day, Pogba's going to be here to the end of the season. When the season ends, cool, let's talk about whether we should stay or we should keep him. I've already said Percy on there, look, I don't want, you know, I'd rather Paul Pogba move on and leave. I like him a lot, one of my favourite players, but I just think it's the end of the chapter. You should move on. But if we're talking in relation to today's game, yeah, he was a bright spark. He was one of the better players in the first half. He played well. In the second half, you could tell he was sort of gassed. He is coming back from injury, and he got subbed off, rightfully so. But, you know, in relation to why this game went wrong or why we didn't end up winning this game, I don't think we should be talking about Paul Pogba.
No, he did his bit today. He did.
Yeah,
He did everything he could. He did. In fairness, he did everything he could. It literally just came down to poor finishing today. Is all it was. It's like you said before. Like, give us 9 more of those games, we win all 9. I completely agree.
And I know a lot of people are sort of going like, oh, like what positive? There are positives to take from this game, right? Before we had got into extra time and we were about to lose, people were saying the positives. People were going, Varane, he's been brilliant today. Sancho looks lively. If this is the Sancho we're going to get, this is going to be good. Like, there were obvious positives in this game, but ultimately, like Haber just said again, and I'll repeat it, the people who we rely on to score goals for us, they just didn't get the job done today. And you know, if we want to talk about that, then fair enough. But you know, at the end of the day, if Ronaldo's penalty in the first half is a couple inches more to the right and goes in the back of the net, we're not talking about, oh, should we be worried about Paul Pogba's commitment? Like, we're not. You know what I mean? So yeah, like, I don't know, man. I hate to be like a buzzkill, but it's just really frustrating because you should never be in this position.
It's the same with the Fernandes chance, isn't it? Where he hits the post, where it almost seemed easier to score than it was to actually miss.
Yeah, open goal.
Yeah, it's kind of fine lines at the minute, and that's where we are with Manchester United at the minute. But I don't know. I always try to look at the positives from things, but we're out the FA Cup, aren't we? And it's one less thing. I'm not even going to say one less thing to worry about, because it's one less thing that we're out of now, that we realistically cannot win. And I don't know. It's bad. It is bad, isn't it? And everything will ramp up now. We know for a fact. And as Manchester United fans, it's not just the fact of, I know it always comes around the Glazers, the pressure will come on them now. And, you know, when things aren't going well, and it'll go towards that. But I mean, I don't know. Some of the things that have come out Manchester United this week, it's been really, really difficult to take. Obviously, we won't try and touch on that, but I will say that Manchester United just signed a deal with a training ground or a training shirt sponsorship at Manchester United, and the Glazers are going to take 20 million out of that, and it's like, this is mind-boggling, absolutely mind-boggling. You don't even get that for winning the FA Cup, which is strange in itself. But I don't know.
I think I've seen a lot today post-game about the Glazers and about the ownership. And although it's obviously something we do need to address every day, as long as they're in charge, if different owners doesn't win us that game, you know. I think since Ralph's come in, I feel like most games we've had a struggle to score goals. Aside from, I think, the Burnley game, have we scored more than 2 in a game or 1 in a game? Like, we have struggled to score goals, and I think it's not because we're not creating the chances. We are creating the chances. It's just time and time again, it feels like finishing is just letting us down a little bit here and there. And unless it's a goal from outside the box from a Fred or a McTominay to get us started, it feels like we're not scoring many chances. I don't know if we just need to be doing more shooting drills or what. I don't know. But I think the team we were the dominant team today. And I thought, especially in the first half, it's some of the best chance creation that I've seen us play in a while. With Luke Shaw overlapping on the left, it was giving us flashbacks of last season. We've had, Ronaldo go for an overhead kick. I looked like the Champions League final. Do you know what I mean? It was great for 45 minutes. It's hard to sit there and think about that after the fact. Now we know, like, we're out of the FA Cup. We've lost on penalties. It's hard to sit there and try and go back in time and think about all the positives of the game. But there definitely were some there. We definitely weren't the worst team, or we definitely didn't play poorly. It was just finishing. That was the thing that let us down today, was finishing, and it's just something we definitely need to improve on.
I tell you one thing I want to get your thoughts on. I don't even know his name. The ginger fella from Middlesbrough. Their goal.
Connolly, was it?
It wasn't Connolly. It was Watmore.
Watmore.
Yeah.
What more can I do?
Levin, if you're sat in the VAR sort of room and that one flashes to you, and what just saying as Manchester United fans, like looking at it going, oh, it should have been ruled out or whatever, but what would your decision on that have been?
Look, to me, it's just an obvious handball. It's dumbfounding how apparently, according to the rule changes they've made or whatever, that is legal. But if that's the case, your rules are awful. Like, that shouldn't be a goal. I don't get at all the idea, it was accidental and he didn't directly score or whatever. I'm not buying that, man. That's a bunch of rubbish to me. Again, it's another reason why, and I want to stress to people, like, I'm angry. I am very frustrated because ultimately I've sat there and watched that whole 120 minutes or whatever plus more, and I'm thought to myself, why have we not won that game? But I'm not angry because I think everything is falling apart and everything's over, the season's done. I'm angry just because it's like, ultimately we should have won that game. It's like, I'm not worried for next game. Sure, there are things we need to improve. That game wasn't perfect. Even when we did play well in the first half, there are definitely things I can critique. But ultimately, I'm not going to sit here and overanalyze that game, because more often than not, we win that game. The frustration is simply just that some of the best footballers in the world, quote unquote or whatever, couldn't put a ball in the back of the net or couldn't score a penalty. That to me is like the mad thing, right? But in terms of their goal, yeah, that should have never been a goal. So you're in the position where the only goal that you got probably should just never be a goal, and we probably just should have had like way more goals than we did. It's one of them ones, isn't it? It's one of them ones. But yeah, it happens. We move now, innit? Like, what more can we do?
Exactly.
No pun intended, of course.
You're in the VAR centre. That one flashes over to you. Obviously, not as a Manchester United fan, impartial or whatever. Are you looking at that one and going, oh, it just brushed his hand or whatever, he didn't gain an advantage? From my point of view, man, I look at that and I think, I'm sorry, but that could have flashed past him. The ball's coming into him, almost the touch of the hand brings it more back into play. It's more under control. They score the goal, then I'm like, I'm what, from my point of view, I'm watching and thinking, all right, celebrate, go on. And then I'm like, this one's getting chalked off. And then it's like, no, back to the halfway line. I'm like, right, game on then.
I said to you before the show, I don't know the rules of football anymore. I thought I did. I thought I knew the rules of football, but clearly I don't. I'm at the point now, that happened. I didn't tweet about it. I didn't say anything about it because I was worried that if I did, I would sound stupid. I thought I would tweet, isn't that handball? And I just have a flood of people being, no, not handball. But like, that is handball. There's no accidental about it. It is a handball.
Even if it is accidental, it's giving them an advantage to score.
Exactly. It's a handball that led to it. If that's the other way around, right? And that's Varane, and that happens to him whilst he's clearing the ball, that's a penalty. They get a penalty because he's handballed it in the box. There is no, it's stupid. It directly impacts his chance creation. It leads to a goal. I just don't understand. I can't fathom how any professional has looked at that knows the rules of football and said, no, it was accidental and he didn't score. Give him the goal. Like, it's stupid. It's just utterly shambolic. Maybe I just don't know the rules of football, though. Clearly these professional refs and just know better than we do, and they must have a pager with the newest rules or something, and just get a little buzz when a rule gets changed. Because
that's what it is. Who is watching these things? Who are watching and monitoring these things? They should be ex-players or whatever.
Stevie Wonder, that's who's watching it.
It's exactly who are watching these things and actually giving their feedback and saying, "Yep, sound." No, not handball. Didn't see that. Didn't see it. It's mind-boggling. And I know for a fact that a lot of people, rival fans or whatever, in the comments will be like, "Oh, United fans here giving off about VAR and all that," and they'll be on about the Cavani decision, the supposed offside against West Ham, which all West Ham fans drew these squiggly lines that just made it, look like Cavani was offside and all that. But it's madness at the minute. The rules in football and VAR and that are just mind-boggling. It's almost like something that's been brought into football that we didn't need. And it's if it's used correctly, I'm all for it. Levin, would you agree? It's almost like if it could be used properly, then fair enough. But tonight, and we know tomorrow it'll be in the papers or whatever. Well, in fact, it won't be. The main headline tomorrow will be the big FA Cup shock, will be that Middlesbrough have knocked Manchester United out of the FA Cup. That's going to be the big thing. But the big thing really should be moving along. Should it not be about VAR and looking at getting this right? Because how long have we been banging our heads against the walls about this kind of thing and decisions? And I know, Levin, that we've had decisions that have gone our way and all that. But surely, should this not just clear it up? There should be no, 50-50 sitting on the fence going, oh, yeah, it might be. It should just be, look at it within 20 seconds or whatever. You should know exactly the decision.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but again, Kev, that shouldn't have even been a factor. We should be sitting here after knocking out Middlesbrough, going, oh yeah, that VAR goal that they scored was a bit dodgy. Probably should be a rule that's changed. All right, moving on. Let's talk about who performed. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's all this should be. But the fact that we're sitting here having to talk about, like, ultimately, the game wasn't. Sure, the game was lost on VAR for us because, yes, if they made a better decision, cool, we don't lose.
Changes the game totally.
It does change, but at the same time, why are we in a position where we're hoping, Middlesbrough don't get that lucky VAR decision? Why? You know what I mean?
The thing is, we should be beating them. Exactly how you just said it. Exactly. We should be beating a championship team at Old Trafford in the FA Cup with, and I know they had a great following or whatever there this evening. By half time, we should be 4 or 5 goals up easily. What the question I'll throw at you, the two here now, Manchester United. It's obviously we've let the likes of Martial go, we've let the likes of Ahmad go. I said on the last show I was on the United stand, and I said we will get down to the point where Juan Mata comes on as a substitute. We're looking to Juan Mata for some kind of inspiration. And to me, I love Juan Mata, but we're down to the bare bones. Levin, are we down to the bare bones now as a squad? And I am not for 1 minute looking at Ralph Rangnick and saying, this is your fault, or whatever. He is coming to Manchester United. He's clearing out what the supposed deadwood, the people, the snakes in the grass, I will say, the ones that are making the dressing room toxic. And he has come in here at this moment in time. It's almost like, well, I don't need you, right? Martial, whatever, you're going. We've got the spat with Lingard at the minute. I've seen some tweets this evening, Lingard could have made a difference this evening. But letting all these players go has left us in this predicament where we are under strength, aren't we? And when we're looking to a bench and what should be a strong bench, what has been a strong bench, you know, at the start of the season where you're looking to bring people on and change the game, are we under strength now when you look at the actual squad that Rangnick and the players he's got to pick from?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think Mata came on and was Juan Mata. I didn't think he was bad. I don't know why.
Not flagging Mata.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm not saying you're saying that, but I saw people on social media, you know, talking about Mata. Mata came on and he was very solid. Actually, when he came on, he was one of our better players on the pitch, if anything. Sure, yeah. I guess if Lingard wasn't sent on holiday, maybe he would have been subbed on before that or whatever. But I can't really complain. The people that he brought on looked good when they came on. When Fred came on, he looked like the techiest player on the pitch, right? You know, I guess he's come back from Brazil, whatever, he's feeling himself. When Elanga came on, he looked lively, right? He looked direct. You know, he was looking to be a goal threat, and he was a goal threat for us, right? He got into good positions at times. So, sure, you know, the people that came on, they came on and they were all right. I just don't think they were the problem. I can't really complain. I think, cool, we could say, yeah, in an ideal world, we have stronger backup options. In an ideal world, we'd have stronger starting options, if anything. So I can't really complain about the people who got subbed on and the depth that he has available to him.
Yeah. Hey, but Levin says Jesse Lingard was sent on holiday.
Is that right, Levin? Is that? Are we getting the inside scoop?
Well, whatever the situation, whatever the situation is in it.
I don't know what happened with him. I saw Samuel Luca say something about it. Apparently, Lingard's. Apparently, Rangnick said he wanted him to be there or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on since Rangnick took over with the players and the manager, but it's weird that Rangnick's saying one thing and then players are coming out and saying another thing. I don't know what's going on there, to be honest.
I was going to say, who would you believe? So Jesse Lingard today, whether it was him that's tweeted or his PR company has come out and said that, you know, he's professional, he's always 100% for United or whatever. Whereas Rangnick in his press conference more or less said, you know, Lingard has been given time to think about his future or whatever. Do you not think he should have been ready to play today if called upon?
He probably was ready to play, to be honest. I mean, you know, we denied him a move in the summer and he still came on against West Ham, the club that he supposedly loved and wanted to go to, and scored a winning goal against them, right? And I think he'd have done the same thing today, brought on. He'd have given it his all and tried to score. I don't think that there was ever a question of whether he was ready or not. You know, he's always seemed like the kind of player that just wants to play some football. I don't know why he was sent away and wasn't allowed to play or what. I don't know. Truth is, I don't know who to believe or what to believe anymore. And I almost don't invest in the soap opera behind the scenes that happens these days, because it's like watching fucking Coronation Street. It literally, with half the shite that happens and comes out of this club now, it's like watching Coronation Street. So I try not to invest my time into, you know, the drama that happens behind closed doors. I think it all just boils down to the same thing. I thought we were just poor in front of goal. I thought, like Levin said, the subs came on and looked good. I'm not worried about our depth. I think that we've got players like Elanga coming through who looks like a bright spark. We've got players like Cavani still. We've got all sorts of players that can come on. I don't think it'll be a case of we're bringing on Juan Mata every week as our sort of backup and go-to up front. I think that we've got a lot of players. We've got some youngsters coming through that look lively as well. I don't know. Like, it's hard because realistically, it's one of those games where I kind of just don't want to analyze it. I kind of just want to sit in a dark room and just kind of be like,
there's nothing to analyze, bro. There's nothing to analyze.
I just want to. It
analyze.
happened, you know, like it just happened. I just kind of want to sit in a dark room and accept the fate and kind of just move on with it. You know, I truthfully don't actually think we played badly. You know, and if we create those kind of chances again in the next game, we're winning that game. There's no chance we lose a game with those kind of chances created ever again. I was incredible. Like, some of those chances were fantastic. It's just Yeah, man, it was just a freak game. It was a freak game, and we lost it, and we're out. And yeah, I don't know. I know, like our job is kind of like to have a chat about it after, but it's tough because I honestly don't think there's a huge talking point there to be had about the game, really.
To me, it comes down to this: if the greatest goal scorer of all time just is able to score a goal against Championship Middlesbrough, nobody's having these conversations. Like, I'm seeing people talking about Ralph is a bot. Like, get Ralph out. Like, just, it's a joke, bruv. Like, we played well. We played well enough to win that game. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Of course, with Manchester United right now, there are plenty of things you can talk about in relation to our future, long term. We don't look good. Yes, all these things are true. Cool. But in relation to that game against Middlesbrough, we played well enough to win the game. We didn't take our chances. Some of the best finishers in world football just had one of them days where they didn't take their chances. And so now people are looking too deep into it because of frustration, because of anger. You're right to feel angry. I'm angry. That's no secret. But I'm not sitting here going, oh, but that small thing there that we did, he's the problem. If we don't get rid of him, no, it's none of that, man. It's not, there's no value in any of that. You just have to understand it was one of them nights. And hopefully we have no more of these nights moving forward, because at the end of the day, it was a joke.
Yeah. Ellie Bell on the old super chat said, I think Rangnick and Lingard are both telling the truth. Fans last night were worried about his MH, and it just read as him saying he has a clear mind and he was taking time off for other personal issues. The thing you have to look at with that is who's lying when it comes to, we've had two kind of issues, haven't we? With Martial, we had Rangnick coming out and saying that Martial kind of refused to be in the match day squad, which Martial hit back on his Instagram or Twitter or whatever. And we've had the same kind of issue with Lingard. The thing I would ask you, maybe the pair of you, if you want to answer individually, is who do you actually believe? Who's telling the truth? Because I think a lot of United fans are probably looking at it and going, well, somebody's lying. Somebody's trying to save face. Is it Jesse Lingard and Martial's PR company putting it out, trying to save face for them, the brand? Or is it, is Rangnick telling the truth and saying, or trying to get a tune out of him and saying that, no, he refused to be in the squad, and the other one, his head's not there?
When it was just Martial, I chose to believe Rangnick. Just more so because I just didn't see a reason why he would lie. There was no reason for him to be left out of the squad. I mean, we saw him come on and look lively against West Ham when he did get game time. It didn't seem logical that Rangnick would randomly leave him out like that. Now I don't know. I'm trying to muster words. I don't know. Truth is, I have no idea. So like you said, someone's lying. But
what's your gut feeling?
My gut feeling is that there's no other clubs in world football right now that have these kind of issues like we have, and there's no other clubs out there that are having a case of people like apparently choosing not to play, or the manager dropping them and saying that they chose not to play. There's no clubs people are laughing at us now. Do you know what I mean? Like, this sort of shit people just laugh at and banter us about, and I'm so sick of it, because it's like, this isn't how a big club operates, and it's a bit sad, really. I don't know who. I truly don't know who I believe in this scenario, but I'd rather there wasn't a scenario. I'd rather this kind of child's play would be left out, and we'd actually operate as a big football club instead of operate as a flipping Emmerdale. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It's a bit sad, really.
Yeah. Well, no other club in the world would check a football 3 times in a game.
Exactly. It's
the pressure of it. And no other, I've never known of anything in world football to say that there's no drinks and food at halftime. So maybe that's where we're at in the minute. Levin, do you want to throw anything in there, or are you still
Yeah, the whole food thing's a joke, man. That's really embarrassing. I think that probably does, sum up a lot of what we are at the moment as a club in general. And it was just hearing that is just really just wow, that's really sad.
Levin, do you think we're at the point, right? I'll ask you a serious question here now with the Glazers. That they will not be bothered about that one bit this evening, what's happened, whether there was, I don't know, I don't want to glorify it too much. There's children at that match, they didn't get a drink or anything to eat at half time or whatever. But Manchester United as a franchise, as they would love to call it, like, we've known this for a while, but is it really hitting home now with the sponsorship deal that United have signed this week? Do you look at it and, pardon me French, but just like think, shit, we are fucked, like big time. When you look, the stranglehold that the Glazers have on Manchester United at the minute, do you think they've got any ambition to actually be successful at Manchester United winning trophies? Or is it all about success off the field, i.e. the brand, signing these kind of deals? As I said earlier, Manchester United will get more for that sponsorship deal for the training ground top than they would have for winning the FA Cup this evening. And what I'm trying to say is, will the Glazers like tonight go, oh, we're out the FA Cup, that was bad, but we've just signed that sponsorship deal? It's a worry, isn't it? And it's a worry. It's been the main worry for all Manchester United fans, exactly like the three of us and everybody in the comment section.
Yeah, I think the sad thing is that it's nothing new to me because we've been known this, right? Like, at the end of the day, these aren't people who are passionate about football the way we are as fans. And so to them, it is, how best can we profit from this asset that is Manchester United? And the only times when they will start to care about football is when it starts to directly affect their ability to make money off the pitch, right? So, yeah, look, we've been known this. Like, I remember, people last year when I first joined the United stand were sort of like, oh, Levin, do you think there's ever any hope that, we get the Glazers out or this, that? It's like, realistically, no. Like, that we're in such a tough position where they're just going to continue to profit off the club and be happy about it. We just have to sit here and try and bear through that as best we can. It's a shame because it's no secret. A lot of work needs to be done here from a footballing perspective to get us back to where we need to be. But yeah, it don't surprise me at all.
I suppose this is so difficult, man. We'll look at try and look at the positives. No, said that earlier. Who are we going for man of the match? Haber, who stood out today?
For Sancho was incredible, especially in the first 45. I feel like that's the player that we bought for 75 million. That's what we want. That's what we were hoping for. And I think people that watched him at Dortmund saw that kind of explosive winger that can cut in, that can get a goal, that can create. So for me, I would say Jadon Sancho was probably my man of the match. For me, Varane was great as well. Pogba had a really good first 45. I just hope that those kind of individual performances we see again and again and again, right? Like, that'd be sick. If Sancho's playing like this now for the second half of the season, he's having an electric second half of the season, right? Like, he took a bit of time to settle in. It was a bit of a slow start. He had some personal issues. Now I'm hoping, he's just going to start every game. We're going to see the best of him. Hopefully we build on that.
Levin?
Yeah, I was really impressed by Sancho. I tweeted about it during the game. I thought he was impressive. I think, I think that the biggest thing that really impressed me about him was his decision making. He's a very intelligent player, and I think people who have watched him knew this. And today there were countless times where he just kept making the right decision. You look at the way we were sort of trying to play. Of course, when you're trying to play, we sort of had like a 2-3-5 shape, very similar to the kind of thing City used to do a bit earlier in the season and last season. And when you're playing that way, you sort of need your wingers, Rashford and Sancho, to hold the width. And Sancho, I felt, out there did a brilliant job. Was able to keep the ball well. His ball retention was great. Made great use of the ball when he had it. yeah, I was impressed by Sancho, but I would probably give it to Varane. I felt even in a game where I did feel for the most part we were the better team, Varane did have some moments where I thought, he did just, he'd stick his foot out at the right time and it saved us. Or, he had, those sort of moments where you do go, I really appreciate having a defender that good. So yeah, it'd be between those two for me. And look, the fact that we've been able to highlight that shows, look, there were positives for this game. It's not all doom and gloom. Hopefully we can take those things into the next games. I did see people going, yeah, well, Sancho's having a good game against Middlesbrough. Maybe he's found his level. Yeah, you cheeky little pricks. Cool. But I think the point is that if he is starting to feel confident, right? Because I think that's one of the big things people noticed, isn't it? It's like he did look like more comfortable and more confident. Like
absolutely.
He looked like he had conviction in the things he was doing, right? There was a moment as well, I think in the second half before he went off, where he was one-on-one with someone. And I think he tried to like elastico it around the guy and ran past him. And it didn't come off. But when I saw that, I thought to myself, he's feeling good. You know what I mean? He's feeling good. And hopefully that continues. Hopefully his injury is nothing too bad. But no, I was impressed by Sancho tonight.
And that is exactly where we want to go from here. If anything, Sancho now should get a run in the team, shouldn't he? But for me, Varane, I thought Varane was absolutely class this evening. And I think it's testament to Varane that you can put him with Harry Maguire, you can put him with Eric Bailly, Lindelof, Phil Jones even. And he just never looks out of place, does he?
I can't believe he's next. I actually can't. There's one positive: the fact that we have Rafael Varane at our football club, because that is not something you'd expect. Never would I, in a million years, expect this club to have signed Varane for 30-something million pounds. He's world class. He's so good.
Yeah, you could put him next to, I don't know, Mr. Blobby, Beetham Tower. That thing doesn't even move; it's a concrete structure, but he would still make that look good. At Old Trafford, I think Varane's been, as long as we can keep him fit, it's testament to him. And like I said before, regardless of who you pair him with or put him beside, he's an absolutely fantastic talent, a world-class player. And I get your thoughts on Harry Maguire quickly, actually, because again, I know I've mentioned Varane and how good I personally think he's that good that he makes other players alongside him stand out and look even better than they are. But I'll just say, listen, on the United Stand, we debated a lot of times about Harry Maguire, and it's not always been that sort of glorious, has it, for sort of Harry Maguire? What did you make of him today?
He wasn't bad. I don't think he was bad at all. I thought both centre backs had solid games. Of course, Varane in particular stood out because he had some great sort of goal-saving moments, if anything. But yeah, Maguire wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. I thought for a while, like, Maguire goes through patches where he just makes mistake after mistake. And I feel like he's the kind of player that when his confidence drops, his game drops dramatically. And if he's comfortable, he's a competent centre-back. And today he looked like a competent centre-back. I thought against West Ham, he had a good game. And I thought today he looked competent. I think Maguire is going to play, as long as he's not dropping a stinker, he's all right. Like, he's not a world-class defender or anything close to that, but like, he's good enough as long as he's not having a shambles. I don't know. For me, I think a lot of these players play better with confidence. And I thought we saw Sancho looked very confident today. Fred looked confident when he came on. I think Fred's, he's been full of confidence now for a little while. And I think gradually a lot of players' confidence has been building over the last sort of month or two. I think we've seen gradual progression in players' calmness and comfortability on the ball and things like that. And I'm hoping it's leading to a lot of these players playing with a bit more cutting edge maybe about them, just a bit more of something about them, as opposed to looking a bit lifeless and a bit, in a shell. So I think we'll see maybe in the coming games this month what that means for the players. But as long as as long as Maguire's not dropping a shambles, as long as we've got Varane at the back, I'm not worried too much about our defence. It would have been nice to sign a midfielder. I thought Pogba looked good, but can we play Pogba against some of the better teams? I don't know. We'll see. But all in all, it'd be nice to see a bit more of the kind of Sancho-esque confidence, a bit more players trying things and looking to kind of create. And also, like Levin said, just having that right decision making. Because I think, we've seen a few games this season where players' decision making has been very questionable. So, but all in all, I'm not worried too much about the players at the minute and how they're playing. I think we play like that against a Premier League team. I don't think we're going to struggle too much unless it's like Liverpool or something. But yeah.
There was a super chat that has just sort of timed out there, but it said, big up Levin repping the FN crew, whatever that means. Does that cheer you up now?
Fortnite.
Fortnite. Yeah. There we go. Not cheered you up, no?
No. I want to go to bed, if anything.
Is there anything that we can do to make you smile today, Levin? Anything?
Tell me the Glazer sold the club and that, we're getting Julian Nagelsmann as our manager and we have a 100 billion budget to go buy a whole new squad, and maybe I'll pop a smile.
Well, Levin, Kieran Hames with you. He says, Kev, you got your work cut out with Lev today. He said he's not happy, but I understand why. And we're not happy, are we?
Yeah, no. Like I understand. Like it's like I said, man. It's one of them nights, and it's just like
it's hard, isn't it? Because you can't. I always when we come on here, listen. You take the rough with the smooth. If we win a big game, which I can't remember the last one we did, but if you come on, it's great, isn't it? Great banter. You're on. We come in 10 minutes before, and we're like, yeah, mad for it or whatever. But exactly, your face now, Levin, just sums up my mood. It's only because I've been thrown into the kind of limelight where I've had to try and do this, that it's made it slightly different. But I totally understand. I think we all feel the same as Manchester United fans. And I suppose I ask the question, where do we move on? I'm not
Burnley next week.
Yeah, I'm not saying as a Manchester United player kind of thing where we go, not the result we wanted, but we move on, because I'm not down with any of that kind of crack at all. But I suppose looking recently, have you seen anything from Rangnick's what he's trying to implement at Manchester United? Do you think it will come to fruition? I think I said that right. In time for Manchester United to push and get a top 4 finish?
I think in terms of the 4-3-3 with Pogba and Bruno as the 8, even though I thought it definitely had its positives, I think he will probably be skeptical about using it against certain Premier League sides. I think the reason why he subbed off Pogba, I think, was for the most part, once he did get a bit tired, right, and the legs weren't necessarily there, then that's when you start to see Middlesbrough start to gain a bit of momentum in the game, because they were starting to bypass the midfield a bit too easy. We weren't very compact. So I think he'll probably be skeptical about whether, he can use that partnership again. But, like I said, I think at the moment we just go on to Burnley and we see what happens. I don't think there's too much to try and analyse there.
I've got nothing to add there. I agree. I think we just have to go into it's one of those now. I think we just got to go to our next game and hope that we batter Burnley and try and take it from there, really. I think we've got a big second half of the Prem ahead of us, and got to go game by game now.
Yeah, I think that's all we can do as Manchester United fans, isn't it? We're used to this. We are used to it. And I think, Levin, are you ready to go? Have you been ready? Yeah.
Am I ready to go, Kev? That's a great question.
That's a stupid question.
No. You don't ask stupid questions. You ask Great questions. Am I ready to go?
Articulate the questions.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Listen, I understand your frustration. I am a Manchester United fan myself, like I say, and I am totally pissed right off this evening. And I will have to do that thing where I wake up in the morning and I go, was it a dream? And I go, no, we got knocked out of the FA Cup by Middlesbrough. And then I have to deal with it. It ruins my weekend like any Manchester United fan. So we all have to deal with it, don't we? And we will see where the journey will take us. But I don't know.
Do you know, so a little silver lining is that there's a lot of talk at the moment I've seen about the Glazers potentially giving Rangnick the managerial position permanently after his 6-month tenure. And I feel like winning the FA Cup might have excelled that conversation. And truthfully, I think that we will not go anywhere unless we look for the better managers in the summer to bring in. We need a proper football manager to bring to kind of level this club up. So I guess silver lining is not being in the FA Cup is maybe one step closer to going for a better manager in the summer. I don't want failure. I guess you can maybe pick that out as something in silver lining, you know?
I am still, I would say I'm really personally worried about the sponsorship deals, which I always have. And I've known that they've driven Manchester United in the past where that money's been available for players to spend or whatever. But I just think recently now, I think the Glazers are starting to realise, and the fact that they wanted to get into the Super League and break away where there was no relegation, no threat of that. It was almost like, yep, sound, you get this money all the time. I'm starting to really, really panic about that now and think the fact that they just signed that deal this week for 20 million, like I said, you wouldn't even get that for winning the FA Cup. And they will sign sponsorship deals that will supersede what you would probably get for winning the Premier League. And that's all it matters to them. And they will keep doing that. That's the worrying thing for me, because as supporters, me, Levin, Haber, every single one of you in the chat, everyone Manchester United fan, want to see Manchester United winning trophies. And it almost seems like we're at this stage now where it's like the ownership, they've got a stranglehold on us. And that worries me, that. It really, really, it panics me. It worries me, because they can get that same money from signing sponsorship deals elsewhere. And that's where you need to open your eyes and look and think, God, you know, geez, it's frightening. That's what I would say. That they're going to make more money from a sponsorship deal from winning the Premier League, whereas us supporters want to see Manchester United winning the Premier League. And
I agree. I just think that the worse we perform and the lower our standards drop and the further down we go, the less companies are going to be coming in with those offers. So I think almost I worry that, you know, well, it's no secret the Glazers obviously don't look at this as a football club. They look at it as a brand and a business. So they're obviously going to look to try and make their money elsewhere before they look actually at the footballing route. But I do think the two are somewhat mutually exclusive. And I think that if we're performing better, the money that sponsors bring in is better as well. So I don't think we'll ever be in a position where we're not at least competing for top 4, for example. But I do worry that, like, for me, my biggest worry is, like, the Super League ain't done yet. We're going to get that again at some point.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to be pushing hard for that. They flipping love that idea. That's more my worry, would be going down that kind of route as opposed to anything else. I definitely think that there's... But yeah, I mean, I think we know the Glazers by now. We know their characteristics and what they do. They're looking that they'd squeeze a pound out of a stone. You know, they're leeches, man.
Yeah. Shower of gobshites. That's what I would say. But hey, thank you very much for your time this evening. It's been a difficult one. Done a few of these down the times, the likes of Man City, Liverpool, Watford. Too many to actually say, but this is, I wouldn't say it is embarrassing, but we've gone out in penalties. We've not been dominated. We've not been outplayed, but What I would say is thank you very much for your time. It takes a big man to come on here after a defeat and actually speak up and give your thoughts. So fair play to you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just engrossed in the comments. Yeah, I just want Levin to smile again. That's all I want.
Well,
I was smiling earlier,
coming on
blood.
to this now. I was coming on. I was going to address this situation.
We love you, Levin.
There's a lot of people that are worrying about you in the comment section, mate, and I'm worrying about you. I don't like it. I don't like you being like this, mate. I know we've just been beaten on penalties, mate, but I'm trying to, I just want to see you happy, mate. Are you okay?
Yeah, I don't know why there's such good. Why are people so surprised? We just lost the game we should have won, and it's midnight. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. I just want to go
Levin,
back.
we love you, Levin. Levin,
yeah.
We're
looking out for you,
want
mate.
the best for you. We want you to smile.
Yeah, no, I appreciate all the people that show love, of course, innit. But guy, I'm fine. Like, we lost the football match that we should have won. I just want to move on now, innit?
Yeah.
Nice.
And on that note, Levin, you've summed it up perfectly. I like that. We've lost a football game that we should have won, and I think we will leave it on that note. Levin, you're an absolute star, mate. Listen, get a good night's sleep. Yeah. Listen to me.
Yeah.
Get up in the morning, eat healthy breakfast, cheer yourself up, go for a walk, do whatever makes you happy. Just forget about Manchester United. Remove that from the head. Let it go. Yeah. Are you with me? You listening?
No, I'm listening. Yeah.
Good man. Yeah, I think we've tapped into him. He's sound. Everybody, Levin will be okay. Thanks again, Levin and Haber, for joining me this evening on the United Stand. You have been watching the biggest Man United fan channel in the land. This is the United Stand.